Hello guys and welcome to GA Flying. As promised, Iceland and the new Baron Professional from Black Square. So why the Baron? Just because it has the ice. In the last days I was flying around Iceland and pretty much on each second flight, I guess, I had very serious icing, including wing icing. So this one should be perfect. The Bonanza sadly doesn't have like a full de-icing suite. So this is also something that we will use for our video. It's the first time that we have this plane on our channel, so just a quick showcase. What I really like is that you can see much more like weathering and slight dirt than you could see like in the prior Black Square planes, which is something that I always missed in Black Square planes, that they were just looking too new, and because of that they kind of looked unrealistic in a way. So in this case, as you can see, it's pretty much perfect. Like there is nothing that I don't like about the visual model of this one. Also the materials look, I think, much nicer, so the PBR seems to be more nuanced. Yeah, perfect. Okay, but it's pretty cold. It's actually -6 degrees Celsius. So let us get inside. Let's do a quick walk around. As you can see, and as you can maybe hear, we are already warming up the engines. Okay, so I needed to Google if during like the usage of the heater you should also have the engine covers, and it seems like you should, that it's helping, because I was afraid it might like overheat the engine because there would be no outflow for the hot air, but apparently it's fine. Okay, but we for sure don't need the pitot covers. We can also close the doors. We will have 2 passengers today. Okay. When it comes to the airport, this is included in standard MSFS. This is Akureyri that we have like flown to before. And in 2024, in order to use it, you also need like a small mod from Flight SimTO. Because in 2024 it's a little bit messed up, but it's really worth it to invest the time to fix it, because I think it's one of the better airports. And it's just beautiful. And also in a very interesting place. Okay, so with this, can we click here to get in? No, I don't think so. Okay, so let's get in. Just using the hotkey. Now we can close it. Okay. This is the pressurized version, just because as the first one, I want to show you the most feature-rich one. That saying, like, in the future I will probably like fly the normal one, because I just like planes that cannot escape bad weather and terrain, like to higher altitudes. I just think it's much more fun, and you are also closer to the ground, which looks great in MSFS, right? Okay, let's get rid of this one. Let's get rid of this one. Let's take a look at the temperatures. I guess we might need the battery for this one. Okay, so oil is pretty cold. Cylinders are cold. To be honest, I'm not sure how like the effect of the heater working should be visible. I think this should be here, from what I remember. So I guess we are above 0. So we got a little bit of heat. I'm just using it for like 5 minutes, I think. Okay, so I think we can get rid of it. Engine heater, and also of the engine covers. Okay, it's fueled up. We have 2 passengers. We have some baggage. So I guess we can start. Let me show you our tour today, like on the map. So this is Akureyri, and this is Ísafjörður, also a custom airport that you're getting with MSFS. And this is also pretty, like this airport, Ísafjörður, is also pretty challenging to land at. I hope it will be fun. And the weather is also, I guess, for Iceland, it's fine. but generally it's not perfect. Okay, so as you can see some cloud cover, but there are special like cloud break procedures for landing in this fjord here, so we will also discuss them. So the special thing about our flight today will be that we will be using this retro GPS, so the KLM 90. It's provided by a third party. If you read the manual for the Baron, it will forward you to GitHub, where you have to download it. It's obviously totally free, and there is also a manual provided that is 200 pages long. To be honest with you guys, I have read around 100 pages, so I hope it will be fine. But it seems very, very powerful, so much, much better simulated than the retro GPS that you're getting with the Piper, for example. I guess it's very cold inside. Let me just check if everything is closed. Okay, it is. So let us get back here. So I guess let's just start it up, and I will talk about the GPS on our way pretty much, and when we will be programming it. Okay, let me grab my checklist. So just so you know what I'm using, I have used the original checklist that was included in the manual and done some slight modifications. So we do have some tests, but not all of the tests, because the original one was very, very long, right? So for the first flight, let's just do the needed basics, just to be safe. Okay. Let's just hide this one to check if we have all of the breakers in. They seem to be in. Okay. And I think you can start. Okay, so we do have the battery. So what we need to do is mixture full rich. And some nice sounds there. Propeller high RPM, it's already high RPM. Throttle full open. Okay. First the right engine. And boost pump high for 2-3 seconds. So this is the boost pump. This is high. And we will be observing the fuel flow, which is here. Okay. 2-3 seconds. So now let's just slightly open this one. Okay. And now let's see how it will start with those cold temperatures. Ooh. Huh. For a moment I wanted to give up. Okay. And here you can see this great simulation of the gyros, right? That is so special in black square planes. Okay, 1000 RPM. Where is it? Here. So we are close to 1000. Okay. Let it just warm up. Okay, now we go full here. I have some noise on my throttle. I was afraid it will jump back. Okay, but let's try. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Move it back. Oi. Might have been the ice. Okay. So not the ice, but the ice that was in the engine. Let us take a look outside. Okay. Oh, some flickering here. Interesting. And some flickering here. Okay, maybe a bug or maybe something with my installation. But let's see. Let's proceed with the checklist. Okay. The boost pumps are off, and they are off. Okay, throttle open, this is fine. Okay, so throttle 1000, oil pressure is green. Okay, green for both engine. Okay, no annunciations about the engines, this is fine. And now alternator. Okay. So we have it for the right engine here, and we can see the alternator load is a little bit higher, but it's not allowed to go over 25. Okay, it's not. And the other one, okay, they are both taking on load. so this is fine. And the volts on the bus are 28, so this is also fine. Engine instrument check. The oil drum temperature is pretty cold, but it's going up. Nice. And the cylinder head temperature is cold. But we can see this one is already pretty high, so we can also expect this one to go up. Okay. Okay, so what do we need here? So beacon, nav, fine. Weather radar off standby, it is off. Cabin heat, yes please, because it's -3 degrees. Okay. So it's here. Okay, pull to increase cabin heat. And here, air conditioning, here you can have the heater, right? So we want the heater to go up. And also, let's turn on the blower. Okay. Just wondering if this vent blower is also helping. Let's check it out. And we will, and it's already getting warmer. Some pretty nice sounds. Okay, oh, and can even see some oscillations here. Very nice. So this is the one where you can click on the gauges. Because for example, in the turboprop version, so Black Square ones, you couldn't click on them. I think it's just because it was working in a different way, like the engine was providing the vibrations on its own, and there was like a long explanation for why it's not in the turboprop version. But either way, in this one, we do have this functionality, which is great. Okay, mixture lean, good idea, so we don't foul the plugs. Let me just listen to the engine if it's not quitting. I think it's not. Okay. Okay, and now we are pretty much slowly be getting ready to taxi. Let me just see. But obviously we also want to set up our avionics, right? So here, avionics master. Okay. There was this brightness knob here. I know it from the Duke, right? Because I haven't seen anybody use it yet in the Baron. Because it's generally something that is not in all of the Black Square planes, just in some of them, and I had it before in the Duke. Okay, so just to talk about the basics, the screen is divided into 2 parts, and every controller is for one of the parts. Okay. And this is not cursor, this is cursor, right? So this allows you to modify a page. Okay. Either way, let me just provide the barrow. So it was, what did I say in the beginning? 1008. Okay. 1008 is kind of here, so it's 2978. Okay. 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 Position differs from last position by 2 nautical miles. This is fine. Okay. And how to use it? So with the large turn knobs, we are changing the type of the function that we are looking at. So we are changing nav to cal to STA, blah, 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 right? But with the small one, once we are in a category that we are interested in, we are changing the sub-page on this category. Okay. In this case, I want the flight plan. Okay. And flight plan 0 is the current one, so we don't want it. We want to save our plan. And here you can see already it has found our airport. So it's like very powerful. And almost like newer ones, or like fully simulated newer ones, which is also not obvious. Okay, so let me just here. Cursor, okay, if I want to modify, I have to use it. And now let me just provide the name of the beginning airport, so the ICAO code. Okay, India Alfa Romeo. Okay, okay. And now let me think about this one. No. Okay. It's showing you that you should confirm that this is the waypoint that you are looking for, right? Okay, and now we have the second one. It was just about clicking 2 times. It's pretty much always, if you are like introducing some data, it's first showing you what it thinks it is, and then you have to confirm it again. Okay. So we will be going south to this NDB. Okay. So it's called NDB. Is it really? But that's a very simplified, yeah, I guess. Okay, so let's try it, NB. It's also proposing you like many options. So let me just try it. Okay, enter. Okay. And we obviously want an NDB on Iceland, right? So let's just confirm it. Okay, bot Accuray. Okay, so this is ours. And as you can see, there is even like the description of it, which is like crazy for a mod that not many people use, right? Okay. And then from here, we will be going to our fjord that we are interested in, but we just want to go over water because it's safe here if there will be low clouds. So now the OG NDB. Okay, so let me just go back. The OG NDB. Okay. I was too fast. Okay. Yeah, the alphabet isn't easy, guys. Okay. Okay, and it's an NDB on Iceland. Okay. And it's the Ogur Isafjord. Yeah, that's just perfect. Okay, I love it. Okay, and the last one is the IS NDB. Oops. But I didn't mess it up. We'll see. It's an NDB on Iceland. Yes, perfect. Okay. This one. Okay. And the last one. Okay, so Bravo, India, Sierra, right? So our airport. Oops. Yeah, I need some good scrolling skills for this one. Come on. Okay. Very, very nice. Okay. Yes, this is it. Perfect. And we have our flight plan. So let's go up. Oops. Use. Yes, we want to use it. Okay, and the first waypoint will be from our airport to the NDB that we have chosen. Great. Okay. So we need a different function. Let me use the nav function. The nav function is on both sides. Okay. And if we select the same function on both sides, we will get like a bigger screen. They will merge, which is great. Okay. And ta-da! We do have graphics. It's just amazing. I really like it because it's so unique, right? And it's not something that you are doing like every day. So the course we should set to 206. Okay. So I can live it with it. 206. Okay. So this is kind of here. Ooh. Okay. Let's do 6,000 for now. Okay, and let's take a look at my small checklist here. So what else do we really need here? Oh, now it's too hot. So let's go low on the heater. Okay, and we don't need the blower now. Okay, very nice. Okay, so a quick sweep, so everything seems to be ready. Okay, taxi light. Okay, let's take a look at the breakers, because this is a black square plane. Okay, pretty cold, as expected. And the nice thing is that the new version can follow this flight plan. I do remember that like in the prior versions there were some problems, although when I was flying the Duke last time it was also following it. So I'm not sure what the issues were, but it works, right? It's not like you will now have to follow it using the heading option. It just works with nav, which is super convenient. Okay, can I really not open it? Okay. Okay, guys. So we are ready. This is also how we will be starting. So let's do a quick run up. Okay. Parking brake again. And let's take a look at the stuff that we have here. Run up, parking brake set, remote compass slaved. Okay, so this is all fine. Mixture full rich. Oh, nice. Okay. Throttle 1700 RPM. From what I could see, like from other YouTubers, everyone was using like a different RPM value. I'm not sure why, because in the manual it's just 1000. Oops. The turbo activated. So we want it here. Let me check if it's not too loud. It is. Okay, so let's pull it down. Okay. Exercise propeller. So let's do it. Let's get some oil flowing. I'm not sure about the propeller sounds. This is like so much more like silent and lower volume than this one. Strange. I don't think I have heard it in other Black Square. Oh no, no, no. Really? Did I lose this engine? Okay. So it's already, there should be already fuel in it. Okay, so let's... Oh. Now we have both at one axis. Okay, so like this. Seriously? Now, okay, so now let's try to prime it. Okay, and now it should work. So easy. Okay, but this was kind of fascinating, even if it was like a little bit embarrassing. Because I haven't seen it happening before, like in a Black Square plane. Okay, so yeah. This is fine, now it should work. Okay. Nice. So now we will have the problem that the engine is cold. But in the meantime, we can just adjust all of the rest of the things that we need. Okay. We can check the magnetos, but I'm not sure if I want to go into high RPM when this engine is still cold, right? So let's just wait a second. So let's just set all of the rest. So altimeter is set, this is fine. Departure altitude is set, this is fine. Takeoff heading, yeah, I guess will be safer if we need it. Can I click on it to be faster? No, this would be too nice. Okay, obviously if you have the new control method, you can just like swipe it. Okay. Okay, so now we could pressurize the cabin, but we don't need to. We have only 6,000 feet planned. Mixture, oh, I guess I can, for now, can just reduce it. It should also be warmer because of it. Okay. Just close the cowl flaps so it will be warmer for the engine. Maybe it will warm up faster. Okay. And you can also go back, oops, not air conditioning, but the heater here, and too low. Okay. We will just close it before we take off. Transponder to altitude, but I think it has already woken up with altitude, sadly, so there was nothing to click here. And weather radar on, we have it on. Oh, and now we can go back to the alternator for the engine. Okay, so we can also prepare the lights, right? Yeah, strobe. Is it getting warmer? Sadly, not really. Yeah, but the views are great. Okay, let's check the flight controls. Free and correct. Okay. Let's check what we have here. Flaps extended 152. Okay. Pretty good quality. Like much better in the A2A Aerostar that has it very blurry. Okay. Is it warm enough? Yeah, it is. Okay. So full mixture. Okay, we can close the cowl flaps. It's very cold. Oh, sorry, it was supposed to be 1700. Okay, but let's do a magneto check. Yeah, not small, but also fine. 150 is, I think, the maximum. Okay. We want the pitot heat, the stall warning heat, and the windshield heat can stay off for now. Okay, heater to off. And I think we will be ready to fly. Some nice annunciation here, and we are ready. For a normal takeoff, we don't need the flaps, as far as I know. You can see some clouds building up. Oh, snow. Okay. This great church here. Some very weak wind. Another church. Okay, do we have the landing lights? We do. Do we? Yeah, we do. Some great taxiing sounds. Okay. Let's just turn around here. Yeah, so we go to the red line. No flaps here, max mixture. We have all of the needed lights on. Should be fine. Okay, and the alternator is on. Okay, let's just take a look here. Okay, all of those options are fine. Okay, so we will want nav, and we will just climb by ourselves, I think. Yeah, for now. Some great turbo sounds. Okay, red line. Okay, let's rotate. Yeah, the sounds are amazing. on the GPS we can see the distance going down, right? Okay, tap the brakes, gear up. No flaps here. I can already see icing on the windshield. So let's get on the fuel vent. And let's see. Let's go back on course. Okay, so what do we have? We have autopilot, we have nav. I'm not sure if altitude is not needed for this to be active. I'm just getting lost with all of the planes, but I think here it should be fine. And we will just see if this will work out. It's even showing our speed. Okay, there is also headphone simulation, as you can see, and you can also control it. Then the scroll wheel is not working on it for me. It was the same in the Duke. I think you have to pull it. I don't know. I think the manual is always saying like to scroll it, but it's not working for me, so for now. Okay, so we are not stalling, which is always nice. 2 degrees, okay. We want the heater for sure, too high. And here, and we can also use some of it for the defrost. Okay, 12 nautical miles. And we can see some bad weather incoming. This is getting warmer, so this is fine. Okay, propeller 2700, which is pretty much what we have here for climb. Cow flaps as required, prop sync on. Okay, do I see it correctly? Yeah. So let's do prop sync then, which is here. Okay, we are at 6,000 feet. Which is being captured now. But let's see if this will work. Okay, captured. And now you can see some of the great views. Okay, we are getting faster and faster. Can reduce the power a little bit. And let's check the cruise checklist. Okay, 36 manual pressure, this is for climb. Propeller 2500. Okay, so let's get rid of this one. Kind of here. Okay. No. No, yes. Okay. You can see propeller de-icing working. Nothing on the leading edge yet. Okay. And prop sync. Okay, and let's see what will happen here. Oi, 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 oi. Oi, oi, oi. This will be some serious icing here. As I said, we needed a plane with proper de-icing. Okay. Is it getting warmer? No. Yeah, now it's getting too hot. Okay. Let's get this much. Okay. It's blinking. And let's see what will happen. Okay, so cowl flaps closed. I'm just like, okay, and we are turning. So, as you can see, this retro old school GPS is like fully capable. Yeah, and some great views here over the ice. Okay, landing lights off. Yep. Pitot heat on is on. Windshield heat, propeller heat, surface de-ice, fuel imbalance. The fuel is fine. Okay, and now we can lean the mixture, but let's just wait for it to stabilize. Okay. And the track it suggests us to set is 304. Okay, so it's only for cosmetics. Let's do it. Wow, some great 3D effect on this one. It's a 30, 305, 304. Okay. And we can see the miles needed here. Okay, cabin heat as desired, and engine. Oh, this is great. Now we can see all of those details of those 3D gauges. Okay, so it's a very good direction that we have chosen. Very, very nice. Okay. It's just loud. I need to figure out how those like work. Let me just try again. Okay, so this obviously happens when I scroll, right? Yeah, I don't know. I was doing the same in the Duke. I'm trying to do what works in A2A planes, so just scrolling over it, and I think also in the Diamond, right? But it's just not working for me. I'm not getting it. Okay. Okay, nice. And now we can talk about the other functions of this one. There's obviously like a direct function here, right, that you can use to any of the waypoints on the plan, and also to other waypoints that you add by hand. And there is also like a database of waypoints here, airports, and here you can see all of the close waypoints. And when building the flight plan or doing direct, you can just ask him to go to any of those waypoints. Okay, and it's the same with VORs and DBs. So you kind of have two screens that you can work on, and this screen can feed from this screen, which is like amazing. I just love it, and it feels so strange that like somebody has developed it, despite it being a pretty niche thing, right? But it has so much functionality in it, because like obviously, like with a G1000, there was a lot of like time invested because people knew that like hundred thousands of people will use it. And here, I would just assume that it is and it will be always a very small group. So amazing, really. Okay, but either way, let me go back to nav here. Okay, and now here. Okay. I just wanted to show you one of the functions, but I'm not sure where it is. So here you can see the winds. Okay. There is a function that will show the minimum safe altitude on our way. Let me just... There is all of the data from the satellites and stuff. And you can also see a lot of the data about the airports, including like all of the frequencies needed. Okay, so we can see our endurance here. So it also has like a fuel calculator included. Okay, you can see the burn, so it kind of works as this one. Yeah, sorry guys, as I said, 200 pages, like full of great functions, pretty much everything simulated. I would have to check it, because last time I found this function, it was like with the manual in hand, right? Let me just see here. Okay, so VOR airports, no. Okay, so let's change the flight plan here. And here you can also see the distance to all of the waypoints, which is also like amazing. And the estimated time, like in an airliner, where you will arrive, okay? Yeah, I still need to make some additional flights with it, because for me it's just like fascinating. Okay, let's go back here. And you can also modify what will be displayed here. Let me just see. This is the zoom level, right? I think you can, yeah, change what will be displayed in those sections. There are also some virtual navigation and like approach functions, but I haven't like arrived there yet. It's lots and lots of stuff. Okay, so I don't need the cursor anymore. Okay. Let me just see. There is also like an emergency function here. Just a second, let me go to the map. So when you need the closest airport like now, then you click on message, I think, and on enter, and it will show you the closest one, which is pretty neat. Okay. Okay, icing? No icing yet. Can we go up? Yeah, might be nicer if we go up. So let's go up. Yeah, I think this might be enough. Okay. Oops, not like this. Okay, this is fine, but I just want to arm this one, then change to this one and engage vertical speed. Okay, nice. And once we are up, we will play around with leaning the mixture. Okay, de-icing still working. I'm not sure if like the icing is fully simulated here, because you could see during the startup, during the takeoff, we had icing everywhere, and once we have turned on windshield anti-ice, it has melted it everywhere. But in reality, from what I know, only this hot plate is heated, right? So it should only melt here and maybe like around here. That's saying it's probably impossible to do it in MSFS currently, right? So this is why it's solved like this. Some nice views. Okay, I think we can get... Can we? Maybe not yet. Nice. Okay, but let's not only base on this great GPS here, but let's also get this one, 385. Because this will be pretty critical if we come close. 385. Okay. Okay. And we should see it on the RMI once we are close. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, this is perfect. I always like those like mini games with the temperature inside. So it's great that there is like no auto option, because then you just set it and forget it, and here you have to fight it all of the time. Okay, so this will be surface anti-icing. We don't need it yet. Okay guys, I think let me just see if it's not too loud for you. I would just pull down the volume a little bit, because I want to show you some stuff from Iceland, right? Because I was there, I think 1 week or 2 weeks ago, and I was also doing some plane spotting when I was there. So let me just show you some stuff that I have seen in Reykjavik, because there is like a lot of planes landing there. So let me start with this one. It seems like Iceland Air has those scheduled flights with those dashes at Reykjavik. And there is also like, this is I think the 400, and this is I think the 100. Okay. It's interesting because they are very, very loud. I was not expecting it, because we were going through the city, and you can pretty much hear them in the whole city when they are landing, and also when they are doing the run-up on the airport. So no wonder that they don't have like too frequent flights, right? They're only going out and in a couple of times a day. Okay, another one that I have seen on the same Reykjavik airport is one from the United States. So this is a Gulfstream, I think 450. Okay, so also pretty interesting, from the United States. So it's totally okay and realistic to fly registrations from the US, right? On Iceland, if you're interested. And the last one is totally crazy. It's an Antonov AN2. So the plane that I have shown on my channel, one of my favorite planes. And this came from Germany, from what I could see by the registration number. And it's on Iceland. I'm just wondering how it's handling the heavy icing. On the other side, it does have a lot of lift, right, with all of those wings, so maybe it's not that much of a problem. Okay, and the last thing, let me just hide those. Yeah, interesting fact, I was there, like, I went to the airport to do some plane spotting, but in the end I did get almost no good shots. All of the shots come from my wife that was like in the park nearby and was taking photos of birds. so she did the much better photos of the planes than me. Okay, and the last one is actually like a video sequence of a TBM. There will be some noise, I hope not too loud. We will see. Yeah, so this was an American TBM, I think 960. So one of those like newest versions that we don't have in the sim. I was even checking if this livery cannot be found on Flight SimTO to maybe like use it, but sadly not. But as you can see, TBMs also fly on Iceland, American TBMs, so you can pretty much use any livery, right? Because it's kind of close from Europe and kind of close from the United States, so everything will be authentic. Okay, let us see. Okay, 70 miles. Is everything in the green? Yes, it is. Okay, nice. So we messed it up only once for now. Okay, everything seems fine. So I think we can start the leaning process then. Okay, and let's just lean until it finds something. So how high are we? 7,000. So I think with 7,000, the peak will be farther away. Oh, well, that's surprising. I wasn't expecting the peak to be already here. Okay, and I think like around 40 was okay. We do have the tables from the manual. Let me just get the manual. Okay, and let me just take a look at the performance tables then. Okay, I do have the cruise climb. Okay, I do have the takeoff power, the cruise climb. Okay, so I do have a lot of climbs. Maybe this is supposed to be the maximum continuous power that we're talking about here. Or maybe they just want you to use this computer here. Yeah, our GPS works great. Let me just see if I cannot quickly find how to check the minimum safe altitude here. Because this was pretty nice, and I'm not sure if I have even seen it in other GPSs. I mean, at least in the basic ones. So it seems like it should be on NAV2, on NAV3. Okay, so let's see if we will have it on NAV3. Okay, let's find this one. NAV3. Okay. Because this is NAV5, so this is why I'm not seeing it. Oh, and here you can see. So this is the minimum safe altitude up until the end of the flight plan, or up until the next checkpoint. There is like, those are two values, and there is like a pretty complicated explanation of what the difference between those is, with some pictures. Right? So I can recommend it. Okay, so I think we are over water now. And we can go back to NAV5. Okay, so the big screen here. Yeah, it's great. I will for sure like fly it sometime, also with the other versions of this plane, because why I do really like radio navigation, this is almost as awkward as radio navigation, and it also like has the spirit of aviation feeling for me, so I also want to try to master it. And we are kind of like in the middle of our like tour here, so I guess we will just show you some nice scenes from outside, and then we will jump to a moment where we will be closer to the approach then. Okay guys, so we are getting close. On the way I tried to figure out those headphones and read like the part of the manual about it, but they just say to hover over the click spot and scroll up or down, and this is something that sadly doesn't work for me, so I don't know, maybe I have some strange controller settings, but I wasn't able to do it. Okay, let us go back inside. So here we have already the fjord where we want to kind of land, this Ísafjörður. And as you can see, we'll be going from one NDB that is like somewhere here to the next one that is somewhere here, and then we will turn into one of those smaller fjords. In general, it seems like we are very lucky, because normally there is always cloud cover here, and there are also like special cloud break procedures. Let me just show you. Oops. This one. Okay, approach. Here you can see cloud break procedures. how to best and safest go under the clouds without like colliding with the terrain. This is pretty much what we will be doing, just from the other side, right? We'll be going down here and then into the small fjord here. And you can already see how the runway is located, that the landing is not always easy. This time it should be fine. We had some wind from 3-0, so I guess from here that is going into the fjord, so we will just do a loop and try to land here. Okay. We can turn on the lights, so we will be visible for other traffic. Okay, prop heat we don't need, windshield heat I think we can also turn off, and fuel vent heat also. To be honest, I never know when to turn it on. I guess it's for the pilot to consider, and I'm just wondering what happens if you don't turn it on, if there is really consequences of like it icing up. Maybe someday I will learn. Okay, this seems fine. So the OG and DB should be somewhere here. We can go down a little bit more. Okay, so they do recommend 3000 when closing to the fjord, so let's also use 3000. Oh, and I've checked. Okay, just wanted to say that you don't have to have altitude on here for this to work, but I think I read it somewhere that you need to, and now it has turned on itself, like by itself, so maybe you still need this this connection here, right? For this one to be able to feed, this one needs to be in altitude, I think. Okay, engage vertical speed mode. Okay, everything is clear here. The cow flaps are closed because it's pretty cold. And we are also descending, not very fast and not for very long, but still. Shock cooling is always a possibility. Like vapor lock. Okay. All in the green. And for the landing I will need some head tracking, so let me just make sure that it's on and working. Okay, and we can also use this opportunity to take a look at the views. And this great wing here. Actually, the turbo version has a nicer looking wing than the normally aspirated one, because the normally aspirated one also has like an intake here that looks kind of strange, and this is here. Still, not my favorite wing. I'm still in love with the 310 from Blackbird, the Cessna. Maybe because I was just like flying it so much, so I'm used to seeing the wing, but it still like has something beautiful. Although the Diamond 42 also has a very nice looking wing. Okay. Okay, so the IS that we are going to is already the one where we will do our turn, right? So let me maybe go down to 2500. Still need to get used to this one. I have it in so many planes, and still it's enough that I like fly a different plane, and it feels like inconvenient for me for some reason. Maybe because you have to switch between those modes. Okay, and the approach flaps are 152 from what I remember. Let me just check. 152. Okay, so we will probably want to go like slow into the fjord, right? So we will use them early in this case. Okay, we can go full mixture, full RPM. Okay, let's take a look here. This seems fine. All of the temperatures are fine. Propeller heat, we got rid of it like during the flight. Propeller sync, not needed. And we will slowly, oops, my pedals, we will slowly prepare for the landing. Okay, can do like a quick outside view and another one. This looks great. What can I say? I really like Iceland. Yeah, so if we would follow the autopilot now, after going over the NDB, it would fly us into this mountain, right? Because like there was no safe path between those 2 points. So slowly we will just disable the autopilot. Let me make sure, because I will have no hand free, that it will be not too loud for you guys. Yeah, okay, because later it will be hard to adjust. Okay, let's reduce the speed a little bit. And we will go in with flaps. Okay, flaps 1. Can add some power. I'm not sure how much drag they will add. Okay, so let's not make the wrong turn here, right? We want to go in where there is water. Okay, and we can reduce the altitude a little bit. Not so much. Okay, so we have some wind here. Oy, 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 oy. And the airport is visible there. So last time when I was flying it, I was too low. So let's hope that this time it will be fine. No, it was supposed to be 10 knots wind, according to the meter. But it's throwing us around here a lot. Okay, let's lose some more speed. Yeah, gear horn, flaps 2, gear. Okay. And we will do a nice turn to the runway, hopefully. Okay, let's not get too slow. Okay. Okay. So this was not the most refined approach, but it seems like we did it. Yeah, this airport is just wonderful, and it's, as I said, one of the free ones. Like, everybody has access to it. You can see the stone barrier here, which is great. Let me just make sure I won't lose an engine. Okay. Yeah, like totally majestic. And I was checking like the charts for this airport. Actually, both approaches are similarly bad. Let me just show you. Okay. Because this kind of requires you to almost clip the mountain, because you would have to go down from here, right, to have a standard glide slope, pretty much touching the rock, right? And according to the procedures that I have seen, like both of those are legal during the day, and there are some like significant limitations for the wind. That saying, in this case, we did have 10 knots headwind here, so we needed to go here. Okay, so the one that we have chosen was the better one, even if it's hard to believe. But like, luckily, this runway is pretty long. And when I was looking like at planes landing, they have also like landed like pretty far from the threshold. Maybe not as far as we, okay, there is some room here for additional training, but still. And also, those are the Iceland Air dashes, right, that I have shown you. So they have pretty powerful like reverse thrust. So they pretty much need as much room as we do. Yeah, the sounds in this plane are great. Okay, and the suspension is also nicely simulated. Yeah, I have to say, like, Black Square is getting better and better. Like before, the system simulation was just insane, right? Without equals, but like the flight feeling and like the sounds were also very good, one of the best, right? But still far away from the best. And now it also like feels great, which I think is like the greatest improvement, pretty much. Because it was always working great, it was just insane how much like system dev there is. But still, flying it didn't feel as good as in other best planes, right? Because nobody ever said that this is bad. Okay, and so if it was complaining, then on a very high level. Okay, so landing lights, heater stays on because it's very cold. Okay, so we don't need the strobes, we don't need enough lights. Okay, we probably don't need all of the heaters. Okay, let me take a look at my smart checklist here. Do I have it open? We can take a look at the landing crate. Okay. Just a second, I need to figure out how to do it. Okay, and here. Whoops. Oh. Clicking is not easy. Oh wow, okay, so this was pretty firm. And that's strange, it was feeling like okay, very soft. We will see a replay of this one. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking it was butter, but we will see. Maybe we did like land before and like, well, okay, we will see. Okay, so checklist. After landing, cowl flaps open. Okay, so this here you can see open. Okay, flaps up, flaps are up. Cabin altitude, we didn't use the pressure. Door seal mode off, we didn't use the pressure, right? Normally you can pressurize the cabin here. and like enable the door seals here. There are also many fun like failures connected to them, and there is also, I think, this backup system. Yeah, the door seal standby system if the normal one doesn't work. Okay, so weather radar off. Standby. Lights as required, so we only left the beacon light. Lights protection all off. It is all off. Okay. Air conditioning. We can turn off the heater, even if it's nice with it. Okay. Okay. Okay, so shutdown. Parking brake set is set. Avionics off. Let me just see here. Off. Okay, throttle closed. Will it quit? No. Propellers high RPM, mixture cutoff. Okay, magnetos off. Okay, alternators off. Battery master off. And control locks installed. Oop, oop. Okay. Okay, let's release the passengers and release us. There's some great sounds here. Some small graphical glitches still. Okay guys, and this is the Baron Professional from Black Square. Pretty impressive, as I said, those things that I maybe didn't like in the prior ones, so like the feeling of it flying and like the too clean outside were fixed in this one. So there isn't much left, pretty much. The only thing that would be missing for me would be state saving and maintenance, right? That is not there in the Black Square planes still, but we will see. Maybe in future ones. For now, I hope you have enjoyed our small trip to Iceland, and I see you in future videos. Thank you, bye bye.